And, I genuinely fear, like most people do, for Jake Paul, because if he fights Anthony Joshua, it's not going to end well.
If Jake Paul knocks out Anthony Joshua, this will be the biggest upset in boxing history. And these boys are heavyweights, and in heavyweight boxing, anything can happen.
Should Jake Paul be fighting Anthony Joshua? No. Is he mad to do it? Yeah. Is there tens and tens and tens and tens of millions of dollars for Anthony Joshua to have an 8-round run out against Jake Paul? Yes.
AJ versus Jake Paul, then we all know what should happen. This is a one-round job.
Boxing insiders have spoken, and the message is unanimous. Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul isn't just a mismatch. It's a clash of two completely different worlds. A collision where raw heavyweight power meets daring bravado. Every fighter, analyst, and veteran voice echoes the same warning. If Jake Paul steps into a ring with AJ, he will be walking straight into a storm unlike anything he's ever experienced.
Jake Paul, absolutely crazy. Jake Paul is a domestic level professional fighter here in the UK. Would he win a British title? No, I don't think so. So now they're putting this domestic level fighter in with a former heavyweight 2-time champion of the world. The weight is 245, so I think last time Anthony Joshua weighed around that.
Nelson sets the tone with chilling clarity. He describes the matchup as a domestic-level underdog being thrown into the lion's den with a former unified world champion. This isn't hype or spectacle. This is a reality check dressed as entertainment. The stakes could
want to win this fight by knockout. You would think I'm absolutely crazy, right? But the thing is, it can happen. 10-ounce gloves, heavyweight, Jake Paul can punch hard. But do I think that's going to happen? Absolutely not, mate. Anthony Joshua is an absolute beast, an unbelievable, highly skilled, highly trained, highly experienced professional boxer with power in both hands, and he's really
be higher, and the tension couldn't be sharper. Every punch Joshua throws carries years of championship instinct. Every subtle movement reflects elite pedigree. By contrast, Jake stepping into that ring feels less like ambition.
This is a one-round job because AJ, even though he's past his best, even though he's seen better days, he throws a nice 1-2 down the middle. He's got a nice bit of distance, and fake Paul can't fight. He just can't. I don't care what anybody tells me. He can't fucking fight. He lost to Tommy Fury, for crying out loud.
And more like a brave, reckless plunge into the deep. Cold, merciless, unforgiving. Nelson paints the entire scenario as high drama, where every second is charged with danger, and every breath from the audience is held in fear of what comes next. The idea...
Crazy. If he thinks he can get it with Anthony Joshua, former 2-time heavyweight champion of the world, and play tiddlywinks, I don't think AJ plays touch. He plays knock.
Of Jake Paul landing a knockout punch feels almost fantastical, like a flicker swallowed by a violent storm. Tunney Jeffrey stretches the suspense further. He acknowledges Jake's ability to draw attention and intrigue, but emphasizes that the real threat standing across from him is
believe to fight Anthony Joshua. It's not like he's beaten 4 or 5 top line heavyweights, other heavyweights. I don't believe he's boxed any heavyweight.
Anthony Joshua, a man defined by discipline, precision, and ruthless efficiency. Every step Jake takes toward AJ is a step closer to colliding with explosive heavyweight power. Jeffrey's portrait feels almost cinematic. Jake walking toward a force of nature he cannot control, a storm whose violence grows.
I told Anthony, I already messaged Anthony as I listen. I tell you what, I said to AJ, if this goes past 5 rounds, everybody's gonna be having a go at you because you can't go past 5 rounds with this kid. He has to go past 1 round or 2 rounds. Past beyond 4 or 5 rounds, people are gonna be doubting you as a fighter himself. So he has to smoke him out like what he did Francis Ngannou in Saudi Arabia in 1 round.
With every heartbeat. And in the heavyweight division, one mistake, one split-second error, can shatter an entire war. Carl Froch, never one to soften his assessment, strips the situation down to its brutal essence. To him,
it's a dangerous fight. Of course, it's a dangerous fight, but I'm not here to be there selling their show. I've got no interest in the fighters from that perspective. I just think that he is a licensed boxer. He trains. He knows what he's getting involved with. He's not an idiot. and he knows what he's going to be up against, but he must believe.
This fight could be over before fans have even settled into their seats. Froch compares Joshua's iconic 1-2 combination to a thunderbolt waiting to strike. That jab-straight sequence, launched with speed, accuracy, and intention, has ended careers. And Jake Paul, no matter how bold, simply isn't equipped to slip, block, or survive it. Froch frames the matchup like a countdown timer, each tick growing louder, faster, and more menacing. His blunt honesty isn't ridicule. It's a
Joshua.
No! Look at my... Oh, no! Are you crazy? What the...
Are you scared?
No?
siren warning of inevitable chaos. Nelson returns with another vivid picture, this time focusing on Jake's showmanship. His bravado, theatrics, and swagger may electrify audiences, but Nelson insists none of it matters when the bell rings. Joshua isn't a showman. He's a destroyer. Every ounce of bravado Jake carries only heightens the tension, because it reminds everyone just how quickly Joshua can silence it. Nelson's imagery is ruthless. Stepping into the ring with AJ is like stepping into a hurricane.
Now, this ain't David Blaine. I said, so just be careful, because AJ will take your head clean off your shoulders, and it's dangerous.
Yeah.
And you take on that responsibility, and we all have to. So we got to think about that. But this is Anthony fighting a top 50 cruiserweight in the world. It's not something that we would normally do.
Yeah.
But we also
Jake may be the calm eye for a moment, but the chaos swirling around him is devastation waiting to strike. Duke McKenzie deepens the analysis. He highlights the terrifying imbalance in size, power, and ring IQ. Joshua's punches aren't just heavy. They're the product of Olympic schooling, world title wars, and years of elite competition. Jake Paul, by comparison, is entering a storm no influencer training camp can prepare him for. McKenzie makes it clear, in this fight, experience isn't just an advantage, it's everything. And Joshua's experience outweighs Jake's bravado.
Joshua is Anthony Joshua. He's multiple-time champion, Olympic gold medalist. You know what I mean? The last time somebody stepped in the ring with him that didn't have that much boxing experience was Ngannou, and you've seen what happened to him.
Tenfold. Derek Chisora adds urgency, describing the matchup as a sprint, not a marathon. Joshua, in his eyes, doesn't need 10 rounds, nor 5, nor even 3. One clean assault, one burst of speed and power, could end the entire event in seconds. Chisora paints the fight as a ticking time bomb. Every second beyond round 1 tightens the suspense, leaving fans braced for an unavoidable violent eruption of heavyweight force. For Chisora, the question isn't whether AJ overwhelms Jake Paul, it's how fast it happens. Frank Warren injects a grounded dose of reality. He stresses that this isn't a...
I think Jake Paul knocks him out.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Why so? What impresses you about Jake Paul?
I just think Jake Paul would knock AJ out. I think AJ's a spent force, and I think Jake Paul's on the rise. And I like his new heavyweight...
A circus, a sideshow, or a social media experiment. It's a high-stakes chess match wrapped in brutality. Courage doesn't block punches. Courage doesn't outthink Olympians. Warren highlights Joshua's discipline, his textbook fundamentals, and his razor-sharp fighting IQ. Belief alone, he insists, isn't walking Jake through this war. In the ring, reality always wins. And then comes the emotional core. Jake Paul's mother. Her fear is raw, human, and piercing. She isn't thinking about pay-per-view buys, hype, or headlines. She's thinking about her son stepping into the path of one of the hardest punchers on the planet. Her panic becomes a mirror for the entire audience, a stark reminder that behind the spectacle...
But Jake Paul going into a fight with Anthony Joshua, to me, is absurd. I mean, Anthony Joshua is a legitimate 2-time heavyweight champion of the world. He may have got destroyed by Daniel Dubois, but notwithstanding, there's nothing physically wrong with Anthony Joshua that he can't execute. Mentally, he might be in a little bit of a difficult position after the loss.
Behind the drama, behind the lights and the hype, lies real danger. Anthony Joshua isn't just a challenge for Jake Paul. He's a career-defining storm, a force capable of rewriting a man's future with a single devastating blow. Eddie Hearn deepens the tension with a sober warning. To him, this matchup is more than a risky experiment. It's a life-altering gamble. The line between bravery and recklessness becomes razor-thin when the opponent is Joshua. One misstep, one moment of hesitation, One open angle or lapse in concentration could have catastrophic consequences. Hearn's words echo like a siren. Joshua is not a...
Who are you fighting, when, and why? I'm fighting Anthony Joshua because I'm fucking him!
What? I'm fighting Anthony Joshua because I'm him.
Holy shit, just let me take a second. Is this motherfucker out of
Dude, it's light work. Light work.
Gimmick. He is not a YouTube stepping stone. He is not a marketing detour. He is a calibrated, crushing machine whose experience turns every exchange into a live explosive. David Benavidez, known for his ruthless honesty, lays out Joshua's history of destruction. Every novice, every prospect, every underprepared fighter who has wandered into Joshua's world has been dismantled, exposed, or finished. Benavidez emphasizes the psychological terror Jake Paul would face. Every punch from AJ carries Olympic precision and heavyweight devastation. The question no longer feels like if Joshua wins, but how quickly he tears through Paul's bravado. Then comes the twist, Tyson Fury. In classic Fury fashion, he flips the narrative with a single shocking prediction. Jake Paul could catch Joshua off guard. His endorsement rattled...
Anthony Joshua was talking about wanting warm-up fights before going into bigger fights, but look, it's prize fighting at the end of the day, and the way that Joshua was here and Matchroom and all the team, the fans won't like this, by the way. But
I don't like it.
No,
either.
I don't like it either. But the way that Joshua is here is as a money grab. He'll see it as an easy money grab, but at this stage of his career, is it a fight he should be...
...the entire boxing world. Suddenly the conversation shifts. Does Jake truly have a puncher's chance? Is there a spark of unpredictability buried beneath the overwhelming mismatch? Fury's words inject chaos into the storyline, turning the anticipation into a suspense thriller where the impossible is still unlikely, but no longer unthinkable. Simon Jordan, however, slices through the noise with cold realism. He calls the matchup a collision of reality versus spectacle. While Joshua may have taken hits in recent years, Jordan insists the core of his danger remains untouched. He paints AJ as a titan, precise, powerful, and lethal from the opening bell. Jake Paul walking into that reality becomes an act of audacity bordering on madness. The suspense Jordan highlights isn't abstract. It's visceral.
It's just a gross mismatch.
Yeah.
Like, you don't understand his health is in jeopardy. So, I'm not even entertaining it. I just think it's dangerous. And listen, I might have to work it, but it's just...
It's kind of ludicrous, isn't it, really?
It's insane. This boy is nuts. He's nuts, and I think he's putting his life before he's putting his life.
Mistake, and the fight could turn into a brutal showcase of heavyweight mastery. Logan Paul throws gasoline on the fire with fearless proclamations. His confidence is intoxicating, but beneath the surface lies a harsh truth even he can't mask. Anthony Joshua is no stepping stone. He is a legend in the making. Logan's boldness creates a psychological chess match before a punch is thrown. Fans hover between thrill and dread, wondering whether Jake's swagger will stand strong or collapse under the pressure of Joshua's experience. Spencer Oliver captures the deeper strategic tension. From Joshua's perspective, this matchup is business. High reward, minimal sporting upside, massive financial gain. Yet that logic creates a dangerous paradox. Low-risk fights can become traps. Everyone knows Joshua's levels above, but the unpredictability of Jake Paul keeps a faint thread of suspense alive. This isn't just a fight. It's a battle of strategy, legacy, and commerce. Tony Bellew ends with the most chilling warning. The disparity in size, skill, and experience is so enormous that Jake's health could be at risk before the fight even unfolds. Bellew reminds the world that ambition can blind judgment, and in boxing, the cost of miscalculation can be catastrophic. As the story reaches its peak, one truth rises above the rest. Joshua stands as an immovable force. Jake Paul stands as the daring outsider stepping into chaos. The experts have spoken. The danger is real. The suspense is undeniable. Will Joshua dismantle him with surgical precision, or will Jake Paul deliver the shock of the century? The bell will decide.